The number one strategy for becoming rich and successful. Coming up. Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ernesto from AttaBoyCowBoy, and on this channel we give you health and wealth tips to help you be more successful. Now, I work with a lot of wealthy and famous people here in Los Angeles and Hollywood, and these people are all looking for the edge for themselves, for their kids, for their family members, and they want to do well like everybody. So what can I share with other folks from things that I've learned from my work, helping people become more successful and healthier? I'm going to share with you the number one strategy I've learned, and that's nutrient density. And let me explain. Take a picture here at this guy. You know who this is? This is the fastest man in the world, Usain Bolt. A lot of people recognize him. They recognize him all over the world because he's the fastest and he's awesome and he's a multimillionaire and he's famous, etc., right? Now take a look at this picture with all these people behind them. And if I asked who they are, nobody would know their names. They just disappear in history, unfortunately, because they did not win. Everyone only remembers the guy in the front, the guy that won, right? And if you look at that difference, it looks huge, but it's not. If I were to go snap my fingers, that's less than a second. The difference between those runners is not even a second. You'd have to cut this into 10 pieces. It's such a small amount of time that separates the winners and the losers. It's such a small amount that when they have these races, they have what's called a photo finish. They have to have cameras all over the place so they can cover just the right amount of angles in case someone were to win by a nose or something, or a finger or a toe. It's just that close. And even with all that, nobody remembers all the other guys. Now, what's the difference between me and you and Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, some of these other great people that are really popular and successful and everything else in the world? What's the difference? We're all the same. There is no difference. Of course they have this mystique to them. You look at TV and you hear about them, you read about, wow, what a life. These guys must be brilliant. They must be so special. Well, they are special, but so are you, and so am I. We're all special. And we're all the same. We all breathe, we eat, we fall in love, we break up, we have problems, we have stress, we go to work. It's the same. We're all human beings. The differences between us are so small, between me and Jeff Bezos or Barack Obama. It's like the runners here in this video behind Usain Bolt. It's nothing. And one of the things that really helps close that gap and puts you ahead of people is eating a nutrient-dense diet. Let me explain how this works. I borrowed this chart from Dr. Furman. This chart is great. It explains nutrient density. Basically, it's the amount of nutrients you get per calorie. So if you look here on the chart, you'll see, for example, chicken breast. It's a ranking of 25. And if you look at the other end, you have like kale or collard greens or mustard greens or one of these things that are 1,000. So what does that mean? That means that basically one piece of chicken, this is a Beyond Burger, but we'll use it as a chicken, is about a 25. And one piece of kale is about, and this is basil, it smells great. This is about 1,000. So that means if you do the math on that, I would have to eat about 40 of these to get the same nutrition that I would get out of this. Now, if I were to eat this, I would get full after like 2 or 3. So that would get about a 75, let's say if I ate 3, right? There's no way I'm gonna get full with 2 or 3 of these. I'm gonna probably eat like 10 or 20 of these. So if I eat 10, I'm gonna get a nutrient density of like 10,000 in one meal. This is not gonna fill me for the whole day. That's gonna be like one meal, maybe my breakfast, my lunch. So think about your nutrition, your nutrient density like a bank account. When you look at your bank account, let's say you have $2,000. You have to pay your rent, you have to pay your utilities, you gotta buy your food, you gotta budget. And if you don't spend your money wisely, you run out and you get in trouble, right? You get evicted or you can't buy food or whatever the case might be. Well, calories are the same. Think about every day when you wake up, it's like a bank account, and every day you get a $2,000 budget or a 2,000 calorie budget. Each meal is approximately 500 calories, 3 meals a day, 1,500, and another 500 for like 2 snacks. And that's about the average, about 2,000 calories a day, right? Of course, that goes up and down depending on your age and your activity level, but we'll say 2,000 for simplicity. Now, if I wake up in the morning and I only have 2,000 calories to spend, I want to spend my calories wisely, just like you do with your money. You don't want to go out there and buy yourself a Tesla because you're not going to be able to pay rent, right? Or you're not going to go out and hang out the bar all night and buy drinks for everybody. Then you're going to run out of cash. You won't be able to buy food or buy clothes and stuff. So you need to budget yourself. You need to do the same with calories. And the way you do it is, if I'm going to eat 2,000 calories, this is about 200 calories right here, for example. This maybe like 5 calories. I want to eat things that are nutrient dense. So if I go and I buy, for example, some chips and a milkshake, or, these corn nuts, these are like fried. They have a lot of calories. It's a third of a cup is 120 calories. So if I eat this bag wouldn't fill me up for the whole day. This basically has about 2,000 calories in it. This bag right here. This would serve as 1 meal for me. So I could easily eat 3 bags of these. I could eat 6,000 calories in a day. A piece of pizza, 1 slice, is about 1,000 calories. I don't get full 1 slice. I have to eat about 5 or 6 slices of pizza. That's like 6,000 calories. It's 3 days of calories in 1 meal. That's too much. I'm gonna gain a lot of weight. So I can't spend my 2,000 calories that way. I gotta budget it more. If I spend it on things like this, I'm not gonna get a lot of food into my body. I'm gonna be hungry. So I'm gonna be eating a lot more. Plus, there isn't a lot of nutrition. When I eat things like this, like I said, this is 1,000. The chicken breast is 25, right? This is approximately 40 times more nutritious than that piece of chicken breast. So I wanna make sure not only I'm eating my calories, but that I'm getting multiples of nutrition. And what happens when you do that? Well, you're gonna look younger, you're gonna have less health problems, you're gonna have less arthritis, your brain's gonna work better, your sleep is gonna be better, your cancer risk is gonna go down. You see where I'm going? Your overall health is gonna be better. You're gonna be a lot more productive, you're gonna be a lot more creative, you're gonna be able to work harder, smarter, and that is what separates really successful people from people that are not successful. So people that want to be successful, but they're drinking Coca-Cola and eating fast food, that's gonna put you at a significant disadvantage. Remember, the difference between us are very slight, like this picture here. This picture of Usain Bolt and these guys, nobody knows who these guys are. But they've been training for years, they're so disciplined, and they do everything and they still don't win. And a lot of them end up working like at Home Depot. I mean, I had a friend that was a world-class sprinter. They say when you watch the Olympics, there's Home Depot or 24-hour fitness gym, the official sponsor of, the Olympics, right? That's because they're flexible. They give these Olympic athletes jobs so that they have some employment while they're training, but they get paid like minimum wage or just above minimum wage. And I really appreciate and respect Olympic athletes, whether they win or not. It takes a great deal of discipline. So no disrespect there. But to be the best, it's such a small difference between us. You really have to work on those small details. Those are what separate us. It's not these huge chasms of ideas. It's little things like exercise, weight, maintain your health. In economics, the basis for productivity and economic success in big economies, macro or microeconomics, is health and education. That's the basis. So if you want to be successful, you have to approach yourself that way. You have to look at improving your health and being as healthy as you can so you can be productive. And you also want to look at training, like education. How can you train your brain? Well, the better you eat, the more you're going to absorb, the more you're going to be to eat. If you're drinking a lot of Cokes and, coffee and all this, your brain's going to crash. You know what I mean? If you're eating a lot of sugar, you're eating a lot of meats and stuff like that, your brain is not going to be firing on all 8 cylinders. You're going to be firing on 4 cylinders. When you eat stuff like this, it's a proven fact. Your brain capacity goes up about 30%. So you're going to be a lot more productive. You're going to come up with that great idea. You're going to be a lot more creative. If you're into creative stuff, I made this success book. And in this success book, I talked about diet and why it was so important. I talked about diet in this weight loss book because those are determining factors of separating us. Really simple things separate us. Think about nutrient density. Study this chart here. It'll really help you so that when you go to the market, you're being wise with your calories and you're spending them accordingly, so that now you're multiplying the amount of nutrition you get per meal. You're going to be a lot skinnier. You're not going to have to worry about weight loss and stuff like that if you try these strategies. So thank you for listening. And from Los Angeles, California, I am Dr. Ernesto Martinez. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. That would really help us out. Thank you. Goodbye.